Our next session, Big Venue, Big Waste, Big Recycling. Please welcome to the stage Gregory Lettieri, CEO and co-founder, Recycle Track System.
Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Lettieri, co-founder and CEO of Recycle Track Systems. RTS was founded on a simple belief: waste can be managed better. For too long, the industry has relied on landfills, but we've set out to reimagine what's possible. We've built a company that helps organizations see their waste clearly, manage it responsibly, and turn sustainability from an aspiration into a measurable action. That vision has grown into a global platform. Today, we support stadiums, convention centers, universities, corporations all around the world, places where waste is immense and the need for smarter systems is urgent. Technology has been the key to making this all real. Our newest innovation, Pello, brings AI directly into the waste bin. With sensors that track fullness, detect contamination, prevent unnecessary pickups, Pello transforms how facilities work, cutting costs, reducing emissions, creating a cleaner and safer environment. But this is just the beginning for RTS. Waste volumes are projected to double by 2050. We need data and AI-driven systems to predict, prevent, and optimize at scale. That's how we move forward in a world without waste. That's why gatherings like this are so important. They bring together people and ideas that can accelerate change, not just in this city, but all across the globe. RTS is proud to collaborate with our sustainable venues, such as the Jacob Javits Center, where we sit today, and the New York Mets as two examples. They show what's possible when innovation and commitment come together at scale. With that, I'm honored to introduce our panel. Please come on up. I'm welcoming Yashi Dadic. She is the Director of Energy and Sustainability for the Jacob Javits Center, and Michael Doenert, the Executive Director of Facilities and Sustainable Strategies for the New York Mets. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yashi, you direct sustainability for the Jacob Javits Center, which we're all here today for. It's one of the busiest convention centers in the world. And Mike, you bring sustainability into one of the most iconic sports venues in New York, which everybody's cheering for the Mets right now.
Hope so.
Tell us a little bit about your roles and your priorities. Yashi, if you don't mind starting.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone to the Javits Center. My name is Yashi Dadic. I am the Director of Energy and Sustainability here. I am responsible for all the sustainability initiatives that we run here at Javits Center. And if you haven't had a chance to learn more about our sustainability initiatives, I welcome you to please visit our booth here at level 3 and also on level 4. Sustainability at Javits is not something where it's like just a checklist for us. It is part of our DNA. What we do here, what our teams do here, we all believe in it, and all our teams work towards it together every single day in everything that we do, from our farm to our roof to our everyday operations for all the teams. So welcome to Javits Center.
Thank you.
Thank you. And first off, I want to thank everybody for being here today. It's a great crowd, great event. Thanks for the Javits Center for hosting us. I'm Mike Doenert with the New York Mets, Executive Director, Facility and Sustainability Strategies. And pretty much at this point, my role has kind of evolved into kind of like a head of facilities type world at Citi Field, responsible for all the kind of maintenance of the ballpark, all the fan-facing concerns, issues, maintenance, repairs. And with all that, with a very kind of heavy eye on sustainability and how to, how do we make our operations more efficient, not just from a financial standpoint, but from from an emission standpoint, and we kind of look at everything through that lens of how can we be better, how can we be more efficient, and while also maintaining a very high level of customer experience for our games.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Yashi. So sustainability, that's a word that we constantly use from a day-to-day perspective. What we've always talked about is when you have to make trade-offs. So resources are limited. You're hosting millions of fans, millions of guests throughout the year. Can you share an initiative where you thought it was going to be successful, but you needed to shift or potentially back out of, and kind of how that made the impact when it comes to the Jacob Javits Center?
Absolutely. So we have at Javits Center, we have 11 waste streams currently, and we are successfully able to divert them from the landfills out of 10 out of 11. One of the other ones that we want to, and we've been planning to do, divert from the landfill is carpet. That's something that is a very big struggle. However, we are not able to do it because there is no infrastructure around the city for us to be able to collect it and divert it from the landfill. But I'm looking forward to 2026 because there is a new regulation which is coming in the city in July of 26, where there will be regulations which will enforce the infrastructure to be created in the city. And hopefully we'll be able to divert it from the landfill. But currently what we are doing is we are not only focused on the traditional carpet, but the non-traditional carpet, which is used for once and using a different kind of technology. We are able to collect it and recycle it and divert that whenever the client is choosing that. And also as another step towards it, when we have a traditional carpet in use for the events, before the event opens, it is covered by a soft plastic, so it doesn't get dirty before it. So we are able to collect that and recycle that at this point, but looking forward to 2026 to tackle this challenge.
And Mike, people usually go to Citi Field to watch a baseball game, eat a hot dog, drink a beer. What's some of the trade-offs that you've had to make when it comes to sustainability on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I'll be very mindful of time on this one because I can go for hours on this topic. But the main one we kind of went through the last year or two was in regards to any kind of like on-site generation, whether it be solar panels, battery storage. We were looking at EV chargers for quite a while. Being in New York City, looking at Local Law 97 coming up, our energy consumption has been a main focus. Probably about 10 years ago, our annual consumption was about 16 million kilowatt hours. We're pushing 25 now. We increased the size of our scoreboard last year. 2 years ago, we added a whole bunch of ribbon boards. So we're adding more and more technology, more and more usage to the ballpark on an annual basis. And it's how do we offset or reduce consumption when we're trying to enhance the fan experience. So we were looking at, like I said, solar panels for quite a while. The way our roof is configured, it didn't really make sense, or the install wasn't really going to have any kind of payback. So we were looking at canopies and carports and, like I said, like EV chargers and whatnot. And we've been in this cycle, not so much of the cycle, but in this scenario where when we were talking with companies to look at an install, they wanted a 10 to 15 year commitment in our parking lots. And going back to our previous ownership, but I should take a step back real quick. Citi Field opened in 2009. So pretty much in like 2010, 2011, there's always been talk of, well, right now NYCFC is building their stadium across the street. Back in 2010, 2011, when that was being discussed, there was discussions and options of that being built on our parking lots. Parking would go where the current stadium is being built. So that went on for several years, so we can never dedicate the parking spots for that. And now we're in a situation where we have the possibility of this Metropolitan Park project being underway. So we, again, can't commit our parking lots because that will be part of that redevelopment. So it's one of those topics where we're constantly talking about, and I would love to be able to do something in the near future, but we just don't have the real estate right now to act on anything. So it's been one of those where it's constantly been on the back burner. We're having tons of discussions, but we just haven't been able to act on anything for reasons outside of our control.
Thanks for that. And Yash, you mentioned the farm earlier on the roof, and hopefully the people in the audience have checked that out. But again, back on sustainability, which is a word that is thrown around quite often. What's some of the technologies or behaviors that you've had to change within Jacob Javits Center, and how have you learned from that experience and implemented those changes throughout the facility?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest challenges that we faced 2 years back was recycling. We used to have the waste receptacles which were labeled as mixed recycling only. And that would create a lot of confusion for our attendees because what could be recycled at our homes probably is not recycled here. What is recycled in some other part of this country or any other part of the world is probably not accepted in our recycling stream here. So what we did was we extracted simplified the stream, and we kind of created something which is very simple, and you'll see it outside throughout this floor, that we have only bottles and cans for collection, for recycling. And that helped us tackle that challenge. We simplified it, we color-coded it. And the best thing that right before coming to this panel, I received this news this morning was recently, we were able to divert 95% from our compactor. This just happened today.
It's amazing.
So which is amazing. We were able to divert all that waste and able to collect everything and put it back into the recycling stream and going back to the circular systems.
And I think for the audience, it's important. So 95% diversion rate, and a lot of people ask me, well, if I throw it in the recycling bin, does it actually go anywhere? Does it actually get recycled? I can tell you here at Javits Center, they're looking at every single waste stream, and they're calculating and measuring each one of those waste streams, and the same for the Mets as well. And so that's a real number. It's not like we get a lot of numbers thrown at us. That is a real number and a lot to be proud of.
Thank you.
I think, Mike, we've chatted a little bit before, but what's some of the initiatives that have kind of rolled out and were maybe an unexpected win or an opportunity where you have, again, you're experiencing 40,000 fans a game, where people have given you some really good feedback when it comes to what the ballpark is doing from a sustainability perspective?
Yeah, kind of the same thing, kind of piggyback here was our recycling program. Also compost as well. We're required right now to compost back of house, but we also do a great deal of field waste. We had a soccer game last night where we had to sod over half our infield and a portion of the outfield. That's currently being picked up by RTS as we speak. Yeah, I would say probably 5 years ago, our diversion rate was probably in the 25% range. And we're really trying to keep our cardboard clean and separate, and the back of house compost program that we have, and again with the field waste, we're getting our diversion rate. We're probably pushing 45, hopefully getting close to 50% this year. Yes, like I said, just probably 5 years ago, we were half that.
Yeah, I mean, just for the group, the industry average is around 25%. So 50% is at the upper echelon of a major sports stadium. I think Mike, just staying with you for a minute here. So culturally, again, getting back, people go to a baseball game to typically watch baseball, but how do you culturally just address sustainability when it comes to energy, when it comes to biodiversity, waste as well within your staff and also with the extensions of your staff like janitorial?
Yeah, a lot of it is just, for me, I try to take a real personal approach to it. Again, I'll try to be mindful of the time, but when I kind of got into the sustainability world, going back to the Shea Stadium days, yeah, it was really, I kind of got into it more. At the time, I was kind of really data heavy in the department and looking at whether it was utility bills or any kind of numbers I was able to get. I was always digesting everything and kind of questioning everything. Why is this? How does this relate to this? Started converting things to emissions, and I was kind of just keeping tabs without even realize I was doing it. And then kind of my personal world took a whole shift in 2013 when my son was born. And kind of my life at that point, not ended, but I realized from that day forward, my life was just going to be dedicated to making sure my son had everything I didn't have growing up, not having my life growing up. And with that thinking, when my time is up, what am I leaving behind for him? And with that, I was looking at where we were as a planet, where we're at today. So from the professional side, it's always kind of looking at everything and dealing with people at the ballpark kind of stressing that this is bigger than us. And it's one of those things where there really isn't any end game. I would love to say that there's a point we could all sit here and say, you know what, we did it, we're done. But there's always something more we can do. There's something, no matter how little it is, there's nothing too little that we can do. And I'm trying to stress that to people that, again, this isn't just about us. Yeah, there might be a sacrifice in terms of what you have to do from a job perspective. There might be a little bit more labor involved in this, but this is way beyond any of us at the ballpark. It extends so wide. And it's just getting people to kind of buy into that and remember that we're doing all this for a much, much larger reason. Like I said, for me with my son, it's more personal for me. So I kind of just keep harping that at the ballpark.
And Yashi, I mean, some iconic events happen here. Of course, the Nest Climate Conference, but Comic-Con, Fanatics. Where do you see the biggest wins and pride? What are you most proud of when it comes to your last few years here when it comes to sustainability?
So one of the biggest streams that we have successfully tackled is also cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
We installed the baler in 2023, and very excited to share that in 2024, we baled more than 450 bales of cardboard.
Yeah.
Then we really liked that entire success around it, and we identified the soft plastics, which are very difficult to recycle, as another stream. And we started collecting that as well, and we are recycling those too. And it's not really just kind of going into another just place. It is actually being brought back into our own society. And the soft plastic that is recycled from here is actually used for making the decking materials. So we're very proud of that. And for a facility as big as Javits, we produce more than 2,000 tons of waste in a
2,000 tons
year, yes. So 2,500 to be exact in 2024. And we are very proud that we are able to maintain about 45% of waste diversion from it each year.
So as you think in the future, you mentioned you're excited about the carpet legislation. Obviously, we're sitting on carpet. There's a lot of carpet used at these events. But what are you excited about in your role in the future here? What's your focus?
One of the biggest areas of focus, we recently conducted a waste audit. And one of the most exciting ones and for us to tackle in the coming years is the organics waste. And we are very excited that the back of the house is collected and is being sent for composting. However, the front of the house is where the challenge is, because that's the attendees.
Yes.
And education to attendees, engaging with them, and ensuring that they're able to kind of make that decision in a split second, that they put it in the right receptacle, is a little bit challenging, and that's what we're working on.
So it is challenging.
But it's, and I'm sure Mike can talk more about it, that those are some of the common struggles when we have the attendees, and not every attendee is the one that we have here in the crowd today. So
this group is a little different than your normal attendees.
This is special, yeah.
And then from Mike, we chatted briefly, but the change going on in Queens, potentially a casino being built, a soccer stadium now being built. What do you think about the future when it comes to sustainability, not just for waste, but energy and your other priorities?
Yeah. For me, what I enjoy about the ballpark is, I kind of look at every fan that comes in as someone that we could educate. And looking ahead, if we're going to have a soccer stadium and potential casino project, all these additional people coming in that we can influence to a certain degree and kind of show them how easy recycling is, how easy compost can be, and all different initiatives. And we just set an attendance record this year where just over 3 million people came to the ballpark. And hopefully that's the trend going forward, is that we're going to have these attendance numbers and kind of looking at it as, where we're able to touch all these people as they come in and give them some kind of education, kind of make it in a fun way. And now knowing that we're going to have the soccer stadium going up in a couple of years, even though they're not our fans, there's still people within our community that hopefully we can influence as well. And again, if we have the casino going up, is that another stream of people that we can kind of keep passing our message positively.
So just for the group, I mean, I want to thank Mike and Yashi for the time here, and lunch is coming up next, so don't want to hold this too long, but I just wanted to put something in perspective. Both Yashi and Mike, they're managing the sustainability and facilities aspect of these two facilities, and there's over a combined 5 million people that attend these facilities between Jacob Javits Center and New York Mets. It's it's just staggering when you think about the amount of people that are going through, and to be able to divert the amount of waste that they've been able to divert it's truly incredible. So thank you for that. Thank you for partnering with us.
Thank you.
As well. But one last point for the group is, if you got anything from this, is that sustainability is fluid, and you have to make hard choices, and you have to understand how it's going to affect each and every decision you make, from your staff to your fans and your guests. So hopefully you were able to get that and enjoy it. But again, thank you, Mike, thank you, Yashi, for joining us.
And thank you.
Thank you.